Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Wednesday, November 27th, and the energies in the day adds up to the number 1 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. The spirit guidance for today. So when it comes to today's energy, when I got to today, all of a sudden this peace came over me. It's like, I don't know if I felt more rested all of a sudden, or say when it came to the other, like when it comes to some of the days past, the days that have passed, like I found myself feeling different. And as I got to today, there's this rested feeling, or maybe a surrendered feeling. With the spirit animal, we have the turtle, and the turtle energy, I'm glad that I came out in the upright position. And as looking at the turtle energy, I'm thinking about, business as usual. Business as usual. That's what comes to mind. Business as usual. I look at the turtle as a spirit guidance, and the turtle takes its time. So it brings me to the importance of taking your time when it comes to whatever it is that you're doing today. The energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 1 vibration. And the number 1 energy deals with some new beginning. This is where we're getting some new perspective, some new realization. But the day is the 27th, and 2 plus 7 is 9. The number 2 is intuitive, nurturing, maternal. The number 7 just knows. It's an intuitive energy also, but dealing with the crown chakra, the number 7 knows. It's investigating. It's spiritual. It's deep. And 2 plus 7 is 9. So the number 9 is created from the 27. And the number 9 deals with endings, but with the 2 and the 7 playing a part of the ending. There's something around looking deeper into something and getting more information before deciding to move on where something is concerned. Gaining more information and deciding to move on where something is concerned. The moon is in Libra, and with the moon in Libra, so the moon is in Libra and it conjuncts Lilith. And with the moon conjunct Lilith and Libra, for some people, some things might come up today, triggers around the mother or the family, and issues where relationships are concerned. Meaning, say for example, someone here has a memory of being villainized or outcasted by their family when really they were the victim in the situation. I feel like at some point today, especially like maybe before 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and even a little bit after, something might come up that creates that trigger. And I look at the T-square being made to the moon by Pluto in Aquarius, Mars in Leo, and that trigger brings me to someone feeling restricted, or feeling restricted based on that trigger that came up, reminding them about issues that they might have when it comes to relationship or relating to others, based on something that may happen with their mother or something that may have happened with the family. So that's something big, that's a trigger that comes up today. And with Vesta conjunct that Lilith energy in Libra, it's a situation that some people could find themselves like get a burnout talking about it. It's like talking about it till they're exhausted. And if you find that that is a thing for you today, that's a sign that there's some need for some shadow work. There's some need to dive deeper where that's concerned. And with Mercury in retrograde in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Gemini, both positively aspecting the moon, you have an audience to share this with. And with Mercury in Sagittarius, you have the confidence to say things that you probably normally wouldn't say. I think of someone having the confidence to tell their business, tell certain things that they went through with the mother or the family and how it impacted their ability to have relationships and connect with others, and sharing it even on social media, whether you're in the comments or whatever. But, you know, someone having the confidence to speak on something that they normally would hold down. So Mercury is the ruler of the day, and Mercury is in retrograde in Sagittarius. So something about today's day has a lot to do with big reflection energy, big reflective energy. But Mercury in Sagittarius is being challenged by Pisces, by Saturn and Pisces. When I think about that challenge, I think about some of us coming to the realization with Mercury in retrograde and in Sagittarius that, oh, I want to go back to school. And with the square happening to Saturn and Pisces, it's like, you want to go back to school and get your 5th degree. Like, what are you going to do different this time? How do you know you're not going to end up in this position again? This position again, in the sense that you go after something that pays well just because it pays well. And it's like you get to a point where there's a ceiling, and then now you're after the next thing that pays well, hit a ceiling. And it's like, if you want more, you can get more, but you've got to go about it in a different way, not the way you've been going about it. And with Mercury in Sagittarius, it's like, you know, we've been conditioned to go get a good education and you'll get a good pay. And with Saturn and Pisces, it's like opening up your eyes to the reality of the delusion, you know, that you may have been stuck in for a while, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting some different kind of result. So I feel like some kind of realization comes through today. There's this new perspective, and all it takes is a new perspective to send us on a new path to change our lives. And with the turtle as a spirit guidance coming out, it brings me to, some of us getting this aha moment, or this knowing, and deciding to put some aspect of our lives to an end, and then slowly take our time moving forward. The tarot is the Queen of Pentacles in the reversal position. And with the Queen of Pentacles coming out in the reversal position, definitely something around financial stability and security. Definitely something around that. And I feel like that is the motivating factor for the thoughts of like, okay, I need to either take some courses, go back to school or whatnot. And I'm big on that, educating yourself, because you can't go wrong by educating yourself. But at the same time, in some people's cases, it could get expensive, and you know, they could get all the education in the world, but then because of all the debt, they're in a messed up situation. So I'm big on education, and also too, I'm big on being resourceful. So for some people, you know, there are ways that if you are deciding to educate yourself in order to change your life, there's ways out there. There are ways out there that are more expensive than others. And do your research. Do your research, and don't be so quick to just jump and go with one thing just because. Like, the image that's coming to mind is like going to the grocery store and 2 boxes of cereal are made with the same exact thing and they taste the same exact way, but having a hard time getting past the label on the box. So it's like someone wanting to go to school to be a lawyer or something, and they could probably pay for this school over here that's not that expensive, but it's not one of the top schools for lawyers. But at the same time, you could go there and become who you want to become and make a difference in the world and change your life and others. But at the same time, it's hard to get over the fact that like it's not a brand name school. So I feel like for some people, that might be something that's challenging, where it's like, okay, you have these two options and you're called to go towards the one that's more familiar, because you're called to go towards the one that's more familiar and feel like it's better when you'll probably get the same education in both, or even a better education. Like, it brings me to cosmetology school. And I remember when I was trying to get into cosmetology school back in the day, I went to a few private schools to check them out. But I couldn't qualify for financial aid because of my age and because I didn't have any children, and they were going by my mom's income and stuff like that. So I couldn't qualify. I ended up getting in though at the community college. And when I went to two private schools and I tried to apply there, like their tuition was like, I don't know, like 15, 20,000, something crazy. Where at the community college, the tuition altogether was like probably like, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000. It was a crazy difference. And maybe I know I'm not being biased because I worked in a lot of salons, and I feel like I know the education that I got in that community college was totally different, was different from anything that I've seen. So it's like the community college, like it was on point. But at the same time, there were other schools within the community that were marketed a lot, so they seemed top tier, where most of their money goes into their marketing and not so much the education, not so much the curriculum, not so much the system. So I feel like when it comes to today's energy, whether it's you getting an education for yourself or trying to make some change in your world, don't get caught up as you try to figure out what path to take. Like, understand the power of marketing and how some things could, like, I think of like, say, like two products, again, like the cereal, two products are made probably in the same place with the same ingredients, but one is just marketed to you different. And just from the marketing alone, you are convinced that they taste different. You're convinced they taste different when they're the same. Or maybe the one that isn't so popular might even be healthier because it got less ingredients and things in it. Might be simpler with less ingredients, so it's better for you. I don't know. But yeah, when it comes to today's energy, it brings me to that few things, like I said, the triggering with the home, the family, and one's ability to have relationships and connections. And then also, you know, reflecting on re-education in order to make one's life better, and possibly going back to school and whatnot. And something about finances and financial stability. But when we come to the realization that we need for today, with the turtle energy, I love that it came out, because it brings me to the thought process of, okay, I'm going to put my head down and focus on this path, because I know it's going to take time. But I feel like throughout this retrograde phase, which will go on until in December, we'll find ourselves like, you know, reflecting on the idea. And I think it's after Mercury retrograde is best to come to a conclusion. It's best to make up your mind after the Mercury retrograde energy. But at the same time, with Pluto just exiting out of Capricorn, for a lot of people, you can't go back to something that you've left. So it's like, now you're trying to find out what's next. And for a lot of us, like I said, going a certain route is how we've been conditioned to go about things. And what's next for you might not be about going about that same traditional route. And as much as I trust my intuition big time, I still struggle when it comes to certain things, meaning like I'm so used to hearing that certain things are supposed to be a certain way. So when I go my own way, go my own path, living life according to my own terms. There are times when things are delayed or not going the way how I envision they should be going at the time that I think they should be going that way. When it's not working out the time that I think it should be, I find myself tempting, thinking of other options based on what's familiar. And I have to constantly do the work, do shadow work, journaling, reflecting, questioning certain things about myself in order to keep myself grounded, because we've been conditioned to see and do things a certain way, so it's so natural to want to gravitate towards what's familiar, and familiarity will feel safe even if it's destructive, because what's not growing is dead. And whatever it is that we've moved away from, clearly we've moved away from it because there was no more growth for us there. So if there was no more growth for us there, it's like we're choosing to go back to something where we're gonna rot alive because we're no longer growing in that thing. And intuition is a big part when it comes to this energy, trusting your intuition. And like I've said in other messages, like growing your intuition through journaling based on, you get a premonition, you wake up every day and you lay in bed for a little bit expecting to remember your dreams. You write them down, you ask questions to the creator, and you expect an answer, but don't try to control how the answer comes. You just ask an answer and you expect it. And when it comes, don't keep asking the same question over and over again, because it'll only cause you to not trust yourself. When you get the guidance, write it down and then just keep moving forward, and everything unfolds and you're like, wow, I'm really magical. I'm really a magical person. And yes, you are a magical person. You got to work on trusting yourself so that you could get the guidance that's already available to you. I think of, say, the beaver who builds based on the sound of running water, or the butterfly who knows how to leave one place all the way in Canada to Mexico and make a trip that no one taught it to make, because there's a compass within it guiding it based on its nature. Not just its nature, but there's a compass within it guiding it, I guess, based on its nature. And I feel like we all have individual callings when it comes to certain things, and there's something in us pulling us and guiding us to the things that we want, to experiences that we want to have. And we have to work on hearing it, because if we can't hear it, we'll find ourselves getting stuck in these cycles where you got 50 million degrees and you're in debt to your, debt all the way to your eyelashes, and you're thinking about getting another degree. And it's like, at some point we got to stop doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If these degrees are free, then I feel like get all the degrees you could get if they're free. But if they're not free, then it kind of feels, is it counterproductive, where it's like, okay, you're doing something to advance yourself, but you're taking a few steps back in the process. And like I said, I'm big on education, but at the same time, maybe that might not be the right route and something else needs to be looked at. Because I think of, say, the person who will go and get educated and whatnot and then get to a certain point in their career, and the point that they've gotten to, maybe it's time for them to advance themselves, do their own thing, or do something that's scary as hell, that takes them out of their comfort zone. Something that, that their fear of failing, it puts them out there, everybody could see me type of vibe. And it's like, they get to that point and now they're supposed to jump to the next level. And instead of recognizing that there is a major fear with that jumping, and how that fear could be destructive and talk you into wanting to go back and do other things, find other ways to provide yourself, only to go do those other things and get to that point again where you need to jump. But instead of jumping, you go back again for something else. And it's that constant cycle. Where for me, I noticed that cycle within my life, because when I moved from Cali, I remember thinking, okay, I want to go back to school to be a dietitian. And I had these big dreams of how far I want to take it, but I would have dreams that I'm in school and I'm behind and I can't catch up. And my dreams are just showing me that that's not what you really want. Yes, you like learning about nutrition and diet on your free time, but that's not a career path that you really want. And the dreams help me to realize like that's not what I really want. Like my dreams help me to not waste my time. My dreams help me to not waste my time, because here I would have went and got licensed in a field and get all this information in my head that I don't agree with. And then I got to unlearn all these things that I've learned in order to do what I'm doing. And then with the way I want to do things, will that be a problem based on how I'm licensed? And either way, it's like I enjoy it, but I don't get up and watch videos on it every day. I don't search it every day. It's not in my thoughts or conversations, where what I'm doing here is a part of my world. Like I could be on vacation doing this because it is just what I do. And there's something that you just do naturally that you could get paid to you could get paid to do this thing. And it's a matter of figuring out what is that thing exactly, and recognizing fears, false evidence appearing to be real. Because, you know, for some people might thinking, oh, I need to go get another degree, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, where you might be at a stage where it's like, I need to do some shadow work and understand these fears, limiting beliefs, and these things inside of me that are restricting me, that are keeping me stagnant. So when it comes to today's energy, yes, there's some reflecting, some research, getting to some truth about some things, new perspectives on different things. And I feel like today's a good day for some of us to reflect and question ourselves and ask yourself, like, who is the ideal version of you? What does the ideal version of you look like? And what is a day in the life of the ideal version of you? And who do you have to become in order to be that person? When I think of the ideal version of me, I have to be really disciplined in order to become that person. And I remember at one point in my life, like, discipline, routine was just like, it's like you're cursing at me. It's like a foreign language. It's not a part of my world. But I started with one thing at a time, getting up every day, brushing my teeth, making my bed. And eventually I built on that routine. And for some people, maybe it's structure that you need in order to become that person. But what does the ideal version of yourself look like? What's a day in the life of that person? And who do you have to become to be that person? I feel like that might be a good place to start with today's energy for some people. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me, because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The 5th benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The 6th benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the 7th benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a red heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.